Hey guys, hello everyone. Nadia is joining us in a second. She's just making a cup of tea. Probably hear her in the background. There she is.
Hi guys.
So here we
just
go.
Making some tea. Jesus, it's just one thing
after
another, isn't it?
I have to confess, on the one hand, I'm extraordinarily grateful for these daily updates because they feel like a focused moment and a sort of, it's sort of like a what's it called? A sort of receptacle for all the day's news, in a sense, isn't it? So sorry, just bear with me. Hi, Dean Chapman. I'm just pulling up the channel so we can see your comments on the bigger screen. So bear with me. Here we go. There's me, my ugly mug. I don't know if anyone's seen. So yes, so Boris has announced that schools with effect from Friday are going to close. They are only going to run a skeleton crew, effectively, of staff for emergency service, children of emergency services and care workers and the NHS staff and ambulance men and doctors and all that kind of stuff. I don't know how they enact that. That's a curious one to try and enact. So Jay Musaman, so they're going to enact that on Friday. That's quite clear. Of course, this comes hot off the heels of... yeah, you're right, Batwoman. Finally, Boris Johnson has said the lines we've been waiting for. It does beg the question. I mean, they went to great lengths, to be fair, to say this isn't about schools being a dangerous place. But I don't... Still, the logic on that doesn't stack up for me. Not that they're dangerous and not that it affects children. But presumably, if they don't know whether children can carry it, even though they're asymptomatic, presumably it's a place to spread, no? I can't work that one out. Our college is closed too. All places of education are closing. Yes. Exams have been stopped. Oh, that's very kind of you, Batwoman. Is Mark looking younger every day? Yeah, school exams have been stopped. So, of course, it begs the question. We got a text from Maddie just saying, you know, all my friends don't know what the hell's going to happen. All of her friends that are at school, they haven't got a clue what's going to happen. So I don't think a notification's gone out on this because it's moving very slowly.
Oh, maybe not, because we've done a couple of lives.
How many lives have you done today? No, only 2 things have gone up. This is the third thing to go up, so...
Oh, hi guys. So we'll just wait till a few more people join us. But, you know, many of you know that we have homeschool kids.
Gabriel Jesus, now I can't fail my GCSEs.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they're talking about going with what people's predicted grades would be, aren't they?
Are they?
So that's difficult in itself because a lot of kids... Oh, I just had a little cry. I'm so anxious about the world right now. I know, Natasha. It's good to have a little cry. Yeah, you know, our kids are already home educated. In fact, a lot of what's happening here is how we live our lives already, which is very strange.
Yeah.
But it's like Maddie said, you know, loads of kids, don't they? They muck about a bit. Predicted grades aren't that good, then they pull themselves together for the exams. Mm-hmm. So if they're going to get
I did that. If I was to be assessed on my first year's A-level results, I wouldn't have got anywhere. I was dicking about.
Oh, Germany, they're expecting lockdown. We're expecting lockdown soon.
Well, the weird thing is we keep hearing sort of on the grapevine, and I don't know how reliable the grapevine is, but it sounded like it was coming through Boris's statements there, that London is on the verge of a 2-week, I think.
There's lots of rumour. It's just rumour, isn't it? That certain areas, I think, they're talking about.
Well, because London, they're saying it's running rife. They're going to put it under... Now, of course, this has some immediate issues for me. I'm thinking of Nanny Di and how we get to her and get her to here, and if she decides, because she's an adult, that she wants to self-isolate on her own, getting food to her and all that kind of stuff. Obviously, we've got to consider about travelling around London. I mean, I'm going to be heading into central London tomorrow to get some shots of the main tourist areas. But I have to say, can I just say, when they first announced that schools were closing, there have been some seismic moments in this whole torrid journey where I can only imagine, I wished I could have talked to my nanny Thelma, and they remind me of the moment she said she stood in the lounge and heard them declare war. The king talk about war. And they're seismic in that sense. Schools in peacetime being closed indefinitely.
We still, I feel, are not catching up yet. A couple of weeks ago, every one of our lives was completely different. Mark and I went to the park today, and I said to him, I've never known this feeling ever in my life. You walk past people and you know every single person knows the same thing.
Yeah.
We all know the same thing. And
Becca Hawkins. I work in a... Sorry.
Can there be anything that is more like war than this?
No. Becca Hawkins, I work in school on an hourly rate, so if I don't work, I don't earn. Absolutely distraught, last payday in 2 weeks. Listen, I just spoke to Izzy, and she knows someone who not only have they lost their jobs, but both their parents have just lost their jobs too. It's just remarkable. Yeah, schools will be open for key workers.
Your key workers' children will still go. But you know what I worry about? I worry about children, you know, like the majority of parents, my God, it's going to be absolutely horrendous. Like, how are you going to entertain them? What are you going to do with them? But what about those children that don't have good family homes? Difficult homes with maybe somebody that's violent or, oh God, it just doesn't bear thinking about.
There's that, because for many kids, school becomes the one place where there'll be a member of staff or a member of the team that's giving them some real pastoral care that meaningfully understands the challenges they're going through at home. And my heart goes out to those children who are no longer going to have that connection with any adult.
And my heart goes out to the teachers that know which one of those children they are, and they may be really parent locus parentis, and then they're not going to be locus parentis because the child isn't going to come in. Yes, I do feel like I'm in a film, Meg Davis. I really feel like I'm a film, and I think so many of us do, and that's because we're actually still in the shock.
Isn't this interesting? Maddie and Kiki are enormous film fans, and there's not one detail of this filmic reenactment that they're liking, because all of their social world, and let's face it, between the ages of 0 virtually and 21, it's all about social life. It's all about your peer group. It's all about your friends. It's all about escaping your parents, isn't it? And as it should be. And this is a societal lockdown. I mean, this is...
Good question. Does it include colleges?
Yes. He said all education.
All education. So unis, colleges, primary schools, everything, right across the board. Yes, children at risk are still allowed to go in, but what about children that they don't know are at risk, but that it's a haven for them every day?
Yeah.
But, you know, the thing is, obviously this needs to be done. And the thing to take from this is, always trying to look for the positive, the other side of the coin, we have to get control of this virus. And they have the best scientists advising them. And they've always said it's about timing. They have to do things by steps. Because if they just locked down everyone and banned the schools weeks ago, we wouldn't be able to maintain it for the whole amount of weeks that we needed to get a control of this virus. There is good stuff going on in Japan with
antibodies, antiviral work.
If I've just put it on one of my stories on Instagram. Actually, it's an article in the Guardian today. If you're looking for a bit of good news, go to NADIA Sawalha family Instagram stories there, or in fact go to the Guardian website. You don't need to go to my story, and there's an article there about it. And you know, we've just got to keep thinking that and I know I say this on every live, but I think it's really important. There are many brilliant brains working very hard on how to get control of this.
Absolutely.
This is incredibly difficult, closing the schools for so many people.
Well, of course,
but
yeah. I mean, because
we're in a no choices situation at the minute, and the most important thing is that we quash this bloody virus and keep our vulnerable and elderly safe.
Lindsay Jane Mann says a sort of gallows humour comment that us homeschoolers don't look so silly now. In fact, Maddie was looking at a meme earlier today that said, isn't it funny how everyone else in the world is referring to our way of life as
quarantine,
which is kind of amusing, but not amusing at the same time.
We thought we had to find a laugh somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, I think, and also, you know, you've got the downward pressure on families of jobs. You've got the downward pressure on families of mortgage and rent, and how difficult they are to pay without the money coming from the jobs. And now you've got the downward pressure of childcare. I'm assuming we're gonna have suddenly a lot of children on the streets. I assume we're gonna have loads of kids wandering around.
That's interesting. Geek girl, I've had to tell my two sons, 15 and 14, they can't go and see their friends. Heartbreaking. Oh my God, we are so with you with this. We've had to do this with Maddie. Don't even go. It's just so heartbreaking. But at least in this day and age, they can talk online. They've decided to stream movies all together. Exactly. They will rise up. I said to Maddie, Your generation have got to prove all these people that keep calling you the snowflake generation wrong. What can you do to be brilliant? Rise up and show everyone that they got you wrong. You know, and you've got to look for a way to turn this into something good. You know, they've got to start Skyping. That's what they've got to do. Skype's rubbish. They will work it out. Make sure it's not rubbish. Get to a room where it isn't rubbish. Get the good signal.
Now, every bit of advice we give is not from an expert or qualified medical individual.
We don't give advice. We just share our
experiences. But when people ask for advice around things like anxiety, we'll only ever make suggestions, and that's all we'd ever do. But Amelia Stanley, we are doing a live chat later tonight at 9 about mental health and the challenge that this is presenting for issues around anxiety. But just quickly, your exams have been cancelled. I made myself extremely ill with anxiety about my exams in January to the point where I had to have counselling. My anxiety can't deal with all the change. Any tips? Now, my heart goes out to you. All I would say, one of the contingent parts of any anxiety is the idea that everything is going to change right now. Now, things have just changed dramatically. That's true. But everyone is in the same boat. They haven't just changed for you. And in that collective sense of change, the government, and I do think the government is providing, I hope, the majority of people with a sense of, okay, we understand the difficulties and we will help. You will be helped. You will be guided. It's not going to be suddenly thrust. You're not going to be suddenly thrust into it again.
And like Mark says, everybody's going to be in the same situation. It's not like some people are doing their exams and getting amazing results. Everybody is the same.
Yeah, Dean Chapman, a positive as pollution around the world has subsided and wildlife roaming free in the streets. Yeah, I saw photos of deer somewhere roaming through Japan into cities and towns and what have you. So look, we are going to go live again. We just wanted to touch base with you guys and just see what your thoughts were on the schooling thing. So a mental health chat, anxiety chat at 9. For the members of the channel, we're doing a chit chat.
No, that's on the main channel.
I just said that's on the main chat. And for the members group, obviously we're doing one at 8. So a mental health chat at 9 o'clock on the main channel tonight. Keep your thoughts coming in. Any final thoughts?
Shit, innit? Isn't it shit?
It really is shit.
All right, lovely. See you later.
Guys. Stay up, and we're going to have lots and lots of advice and suggestions for managing all sorts of things later. Bye, guys.